Hi, this is Joe again with another campaign video. Instead of my usual movie reviews that I've been doing, this video is going to be for my co-op, which is Big Six Towers in Woodside, Queens. I'm going to do, like I promised earlier this week, do another campaign video. And like I said, I'm going to use social media as much as I can to get myself elected to the board of directors. Today, which is the day during this video, is Friday, September 15th, 2017. And today we got I know not all buildings have gotten in yet, at this point as far as I know. We've gotten the statements for all the, I don't see it, all the statements for all the people who are running for the board, including myself. And we have 7 people running for the board, including myself. Jonathan Buckerman, sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, but there's the first guy listed, and it goes Barbara Collins. You have Howard Geary, more on him later. John Galuli, who was a former board member and former board president, actually. And they have my name, you have myself on there, you have Dorothy Comiskey, who used to be on the board for about like 30 seconds. And you have Jerry Lamani, who's currently on the board. So only 2 current board members who are running for the board this year, that's Howard Geary and Jerry Lamani. Everyone else there, including myself, are not current board members. So we don't have to worry about term limits. And the reason why I'm bringing up term limits is because it will affect Howard Geary more than anybody else. Because Howard Geary has been on the board, as I previously mentioned in the previous video I've done. Howard Geary has a term limit problem. That is because he's been on the board for 4 years already. And if he's elected, if he happened to get one of the 3-year terms that's up for this year, after in 2019, just 2 years from now, he would have to quit. Because he'll be on the board for 6 years. So it's personally, and I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I just want you to consider not voting for Howard Geary because of the term limit issue. The rest of us who are running, because we don't have that problem. Of course, not people can complain with Jerry Lamani, but Jerry was only on the board for 1 consecutive year. He was off the board for 2 years. His term was up in 2014, so he was off the board for 2 years in 2015, and of course practically all of 2016, and until, of course, he was put back on the board just last year in the 2016 election, just last year. So he doesn't have the term, and we know a lot of people in the call don't like Jerry for one reason or another, but he does not have the term limit problem, and Howard Geary does. Okay? And not only that, but I have the support of the entire maintenance staff to run for the board of directors. And the reason why is because they do not like the fact that Howard Geary acted on his own to ban not only myself but all shareholders from the maintenance shop. I know I'm repeating myself, but I cannot drum this issue or beat this issue enough, because it's very, very important to keep Howard Geary off this board, because he's like the people who want to have all the Confederate statues taken down, all the Christopher Columbus statues taken down. Where does it stop? And if you don't stop him from taking down these statues, what's the next thing he's going to do? And that's what Howard Geary is. If we don't stop Howard Geary, what's the next thing he's going to do? Because he is acting on his own, without authority from the rest of the board, to ban shareholders. Because it started with me. It also started with the 2 building reps for Building 1. He also banned them as well at first, and then eventually he banned all shareholders from the shop. And of course, if you see in the pictures that I posted, he put up, or he authorized, of course, the majority of the board has to sign off on, I guess, the stupid gate that's on the maintenance shop, and it was locked. I saw it was locked today. And what if you had a fire in there, in the maintenance shop, and then you have the stupid gate shut and locked, and closed, and you have to call the fire department, and you have to the fire department has to go through 2 sets of doors, or to break into 2 sets of doors to go in there and to save whoever having to be trapped in the maintenance shop. It's going to be just like the Triangle Dress Fire back in the early, over 100 years ago, down in the village. The workers in there were practically all women who were, it was like a sweatshop, pretty much a Triangle Dress Factory, which is now the main building of New York University, by the way. And they have a plaque on the building telling people what happened there. Anyway, they were all, not only were they chained to their sewing machines, and they also were locked in like rats in that building, on the floor where they were working. And of course, a fire happens, and they couldn't get out because all the fire exits were locked and chained shut. And whoever happened to be, there were very few survivors that were lucky enough to get out, but most of them didn't and died, and some of them had to jump out, having to jump out the window, and were killed for jumping out the window, to jump to the deaths actually. And that was what, well, of course the maintenance shop was on the first floor, so you're not going to have people jump to the deaths. But I'm telling you now, there happened to be a fire in that maintenance shop, and the maintenance staff could not get out because of the stupid gate that's there. We're going to have major deaths here, and whoever happens to be in there is going to get killed. And there was a fire in there, and that's what Harold Geary, by his actions, but because he is so obsessed and banning myself and keeping me out and keeping other shareholders out of the shop, that he's willing to risk the maintenance staff's lives to keep us out. That's why I'm urging people not to vote for Harold Geary for the board of directors because of that. We could argue back and forth. I know I made this an issue on the page. I know some of you have written back or responded saying I don't deserve to be in there in the first place, and yada yada yada. Well, I do have a letter. I came prepared for this. I do have a letter that I got from the management, and there was in August. This letter was written on August 30th, 2016, so it was no more than a year ago. It says, "Dear Mr. Gutfeld, thank you for your concern. We have received your complaint. Access to the work areas, such as the maintenance shop, is restricted by the Big Six Towers' limited insurance policy." Alright? On one hand, it says, yes, it's limited access. But there's an important sentence. "This is not under control of the board or management or nor the bylaws." It means in simpler language, folks, Howard Geary does not control access to the shop. But unfortunately, he thinks he is in control of the shop and everything else here, because the board, the rest of the board, the other 7 members now of the board, letting him do it and letting him get away with this stuff. And I've heard every excuse under the sun. Why? Excuse number 1 is because if they do the right thing and remove Howard Geary from the board of directors, replace him with something, because Howard Geary is also currently the treasurer of the board, at least for the next month. And he says, if we remove him and replace him with somebody else, who's going to do such a good job of saving us money? That's one reason. And then my response, this is a stupid reason not to at the very least suspend Howard from the board. That is such a stupid reason. It's like beyond stupid. I have to say, it was. I know probably board members probably watching this video, but that excuse is beyond stupid. Okay, it's insulting to anybody's intelligence. Not just my intelligence, but every shareholder in the place. The other excuse is, of course, that I don't belong in the first place. Excuse me. One point they made in the other video, I'm going to make it again here, is the fact that all board members except for Howard Geary are also banned. What authority does he have to ban other board members? I mean, it's one thing if he goes on his own to ban shareholders. It's one thing, or stupid personal grudges. It's another thing to ban other board members. When does he get off to ban all 7 now? All 7 board members from the maintenance shop, including the president and vice president of the board of directors. Where does he get off to ban them? What have they done to deserve to be banned? They're board members for crying out loud. And speaking of Howard Geary, I know I'm focusing on him for this video, but the only 2 people who did not send in a statement are Howard Geary and Dorothy Comiskey. They're the only 2 candidates who did not send in a statement. Now, I guess because everybody knows who Dorothy Comiskey is, and so of course I guess she didn't want to bother making a statement. But what is Howard Geary's excuse for not putting? True, it's not. Technically, we don't have to put in anything. Candidates, we don't have to technically put in any statement for the board election. We don't have to put in anything. But it would be nice if we wrote like a one-page letter, which is I did. And my letter is the shortest one of everybody. It's like 2 paragraphs. Also, the fonts are different from what other people, the other candidates wrote. The fonts are different, so it's going to be made a little bigger. But mine, I only wrote like 2 paragraphs. I wrote like very short, straight to the point. And I do hope you read my statement, and as well as the others, and I hope you come to a good decision. And I do hope that you vote for me from the board, because at least with me, I played straight to the chest, almost straight to the heart, straight to the arm. I have my heart on my sleeve. I will treat everybody fairly. Nobody's going to be treated differently with me on the board. I'm going to treat everybody the same way. Nobody is going to. I'm not going to play favors with anybody. You have to treat everybody the fair way, and nobody's going to get special treatment with me. You say, hey, I can't play favors with you guys, because you have to play. You have to play. Be fair about it. And I will do the best I can for you guys. And naturally, of course, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that the stupid fence is taken down, number 1. In the maintenance shop, take the stupid sign down that's on the door. Make sure that all shareholders will get their rights back. Because thanks to Howard Geary and his grudge against me, all shareholders are banned from the shop, which is disgusting. Excuse me. The other thing that I want to, well, I've already brought up in my campaign video before. If you haven't checked it out, please watch it. Is of course we're going to have some metering on the ballots this year, which we have like 2 notices here with all the names of all the candidates, and so far has been nothing been mentioned about some metering that's going to be on the ballot. Nothing. And that's one of the main reasons I'm complaining about is, of course, no communication between the board, management, and the shareholders. It's ridiculous, and it's beyond pathetic, really, at this point, because the whole year, all 2017, has been like this. And one thing's for sure is that's why I created the Facebook page to begin with. But if I'm elected, I have to stop posting on the page. Because they don't want, there is a policy that board members cannot post any stuff on Facebook. Particularly on the Big 6 pages in particular. We can't post anything on there. So those of you who hate when I've been posting on the page, the only way for you to really stop me from posting is for you to elect me as a board member. So it's like, I know a lot of people don't like me, but if you want me to stop posting stuff on Facebook, you have to vote me as a board member for the board. Because that way, if I'm elected, I have to stop posting on the Facebook page, on the Big 6 page. Anyway, so that's what you guys have to do if you want me to stop posting stuff on Facebook. I know a lot of people and most of the people who have complained about it, I have removed from the page for various reasons, which I'm not going to go into now. I'm not going to do that in this video, but I just want people to know that I'm willing to fight for everybody, from the workers to shareholders, to everybody. I'm going to do my best for you guys, and that's all you can ask me for, is to do my best for you guys. And I know I'm going to be new at this, but I've been here for 45 years. There's not much I don't know about the type of people we have living here, the type of hard work it is to be a board member, and I'm doing this and we're all doing this for nothing. We're all doing this for nothing. So I do ask you for your once again for your vote for the board election. Hopefully it'll continue. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do another campaign video or not. Probably when it's closer to the candidates nights, I'll probably do a video then. Because the nights, I should mention this before I sign off in this video. The Meet the Candidates nights will be held on Tuesday, October 3rd and Thursday, October 12th in the Building 2 Community Room. The meeting for the annual meeting location has been changed. Those of you who have not seen this notice, it's posted in all the lobbies. The annual venue, the usual venue, is at PS 11. It's not available because of all the construction work and expanding jobs and expansion they're doing for PS 11. So the annual meeting will be held in the St. Sebastian's Parish Center at 3960 57th Street in Woodside at 7 p.m. on Thursday, October 26th. Now I believe this is the school, not the St. Sebastian's Church, but I believe this is the St. Sebastian School. And if it is the St. Sebastian School, please write a comment below and let me know if it is the school that's across the street from St. Sebastian's Church. Please let me know. Because I believe that's what it is. I believe it's actually the St. Sebastian's School where the kids go to. So I just want to make that point before I sign off. So thank you for watching this video. Please vote for me for the board, and please send in your ballots for the election as well. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.